Why is it that one of the most monumental events in biblical history, the Exodus, lacks any substantial physical evidence? An event of such magnitude, involving the mass migration of the Israelites from Egypt, should surely have left behind some tangible remnants. Yet, archaeologists and historians alike have struggled to uncover any concrete proof, leading many to question the veracity of this biblical narrative. The Israelites, as the account goes, set off on their journey with minimal personal belongings. They were a people who had spent roughly 400 years in Egypt, many of those as slaves. Devoid of personal possessions, they left behind no material traces that would withstand the test of time, waiting to be unearthed by modern researchers. Scene script. Much like Noah's flood, the Exodus was a singular event in human history. Yet, unlike the flood, the Exodus lacked the divine interventions that shaped the former. There were no plagues or wars paving the way, nor was there a divine mandate to conquer new territories. Indeed, the Israelites were slaves, and their material possessions, if any, bore the stamp of their Egyptian masters. Gold, silver, precious stones, all were of Egyptian design and manufacture. Hence, any archaeological finds of these items would point to an Egyptian presence, not a Hebrew one. So, how then do we seek evidence for the Exodus? The answer lies in indirect sources. The Ipuwer papyrus, for instance, mirrors the biblical account of the plagues and the foreign takeover of Egypt. However, no such calamity of the nature described is recorded in Egyptian history at the time the papyrus is dated. Another indirect piece of evidence is the fallen walls of Jericho. The extensive work of Dr. Bryant Wood at Jericho has unearthed evidence supporting the conquest of the city at the end of the Exodus. Perhaps the most compelling indirect evidence comes from the festivals celebrated by modern Israelites. If the Exodus were merely a fabrication, then these celebrations would be baseless. No other manuscript provides a non-biblical source for these festivals, reinforcing their link to the Exodus narrative. So, in the absence of direct physical evidence, why do doubts persist about the Exodus? The answer lies in the challenges of finding evidence that has withstood the ravages of time and destructive elements for over 3.5 millennia. There's also the matter of archaeological digs not being conducted in the right locations, leaving potential evidence buried and undiscovered. To conclude, the lack of physical evidence for the Exodus does not necessarily invalidate its occurrence. The Israelites, as slaves, left no material traces of their journey. Any possessions they had were of Egyptian origin and would not indicate a Hebrew presence. Indirect evidence, such as the Ipuwer papyrus and the fallen walls of Jericho, provide some support for the Exodus narrative. Moreover, the festivals celebrated by modern Israelites further reinforce the authenticity of the Exodus. The search for evidence continues, hampered by the passage of time and the challenges of archaeological exploration. But absence of evidence, as they say, is not evidence of absence.